Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wisdom from the Angels. Hi, my name is Carolyn. I'm an angel intuitive, and I work very closely with the angelic realm. I'm also an energy healer, and anything you need to know about me is listed below. If you need more information, drop me an email and I'll reply. Also, if you'd like an angel card reading, they are offered at 30 minutes or 60 minutes. Or if you'd like a healing session, I do distance or remote healing sessions for clients. Okay, so today let's go ahead and get right into the lesson for today. And I hope you are safe, I hope you are healthy, and I hope that your loved ones are too. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and get into the reading. The deck for today is the Soul's Journey. And people say, well, why do you tell us about the deck for today? Well, some people do have decks at home, and some people like to just keep up with what's going on. But if you ever find a deck that I'm using that you're drawn to, go ahead and purchase it. And if you're not sure where, you can always check it out on Amazon, or you can drop me a line, because not all of my decks come from Amazon. Some are coming directly from different little stores, and some come from other sites online. Some are also gifts from people. So, yeah. Alrighty. So they're telling me to shuffle twice. Two more times. Sorry. 5 times. So this is 4. And one more is 5. Spirit, is that enough? Yes. Okay. So they're saying get into it. Show us what our message is for today. Show us. Should I take all those? Yes. Show us what our message is for today. Is there any more on the message? Yes. Okay. Should I pull anything else? The one sticking out. Okay. All right. So, wow. Bunch fell out at first. Let me just turn them over so I can look at them for a second. Okay, so these came out like this. Wow, that's a lot of cards. So when you get a private reading, there are many more cards than I do here on YouTube. And one of the reasons that when you're having a one-on-one session, what happens is that you get to have your questions put before the angels and get clearance and guidance on what to do next. And when I'm on YouTube, it's a little bit different in that I'm not pulling for a specific person. I'm pulling for that particular day's energy. So it will be very different than a one-on-one. Here sometimes on YouTube, it's maybe 4 cards. Today, it's 7 cards. In a private session, it can be several decks. I just had a reading earlier today, and I pulled 9 decks. I go and ask my decks who'd like to come out and play, and I can just hold my hand over them, and if they're warm, then they come out to play. And so for this particular client, I used over 12 to 15 cards. Now the amount of cards isn't what I'm talking about. It's that you get more clarity, you get more information, and then after the session, I send a picture through email of the cards that came out, so that you have something to look to at. It's very different than tarot, where the decks are pretty uniform. You know what the King of Pentacles looks like, and it's probably not going to vary from deck to deck too much. But here, if I'm saying something, something with each oracle deck or each angel deck can be very different. And I do angel and oracle card readings. I used to do tarot, and I stopped using the tarot, but I do know it. But let's get into today's reading. Okay, the first card, and I'm going to show you the cards first, and then we're going to go back and read what's on them. Nope, Spirit says read what's on it as we go. All right. So the first card is change. Okay, and it's a beautiful, beautiful sphere. And it says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. All right, that's powerful. Okay, the next one is blame. Okay, I accept responsibility for my well-being. The next card is acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. It's interesting. The next card is indecision, and it says, I use my intuition for all aspects of life. The next card is failure, and it says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. The next card is happiness, and the affirmation on here says, I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Okay? And the last card is perseverance. Perseverance. And the message off of that is, I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. All right, so the message here is, it's starting to have a theme to it. This is the week where we're going to be celebrating the 4th of July. I'm sorry if you're hearing any background noise. That is probably my people outside walking by. But getting back to the message for this week, the message for this week is one of change. It's one of, I think Monday's message was all about gratitude and taking that step and freedom. 4th of July is this week, and we have the opportunity to really sit back and look within our own lives and look within to see where we would like to be free. Where would we like to be feel more alive? Where would we like to just release some of the burdens that have been hanging on to us, that we've been holding on to? Sorry, my English. They're talking mile a minute, so I'm trying to listen to them and to speak to you also. And today's message is one of looking within, starting to really accept the change that's going on around us, really understanding that we are 100% responsible for our own well-being. No one else is. You can blame your mother, you can blame your father, you can blame your teachers, you can blame your guides. Some things may have happened in your past that were not fair. And that's not to say that they have permission to continue to upset you or abuse you. But what it is saying is, accept responsibility for how you are responding to it. And some people may take their time and respond in a very adult manner and want to have a conversation. That doesn't mean that they may want to continue the relationship, but they have a conversation. Other people act very much like little children and, take all their marbles and run away and go home to play. And start to accept that some things just can't be changed. A lot of times we have situations happen in our life and we go, why did that have to happen? What did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? And we ruminate and we get upset and we really talk to ourselves very poorly. But if we step back for a minute and just say, you know what? It happened. There's a reason it happened. And I'm going to accept the fact that not only did it happen, but I'm going to accept what change came along with it. I was listening to a podcast this weekend while I was walking, and it was all about accepting that it's your responsibility as to how you respond to something or someone. And I really had to wrap my brain around that. And what they were saying is that it isn't your fault how someone else reacts. It is your responsibility to how you respond. And sometimes you may need to just say, right now I need to take a step back. You've really hurt my feelings. I need to take a step back. I need to allow myself to heal. And in that healing, I will get back to you when it's time for me to do so. We can also begin to see by this card, indecision, that sometimes we do need to use our intuition and rely on it and know that whatever's coming up, you may have a choice to make. You may say, I don't understand. What should I do in this situation? And your gut says, stay away, stay away. And you're like, no, I don't want to lose that person. I don't want to lose that relationship. I don't want to lose, whatever it is that has happened. Sometimes the universe is moving us out of a situation, and it may be temporary, so that some other things can happen for us that are blessings. So sometimes you may need to take that step back. You may need to go within. I'm not saying any of it's easy. I'm really not. But I also know that sometimes we speak to ourselves worse than anyone else. And you may say, no, I don't. Stop and think about it. How many times do you go to do something and you go, oh, I can't believe I did that. I'm so stupid. That's not the way you would want someone to speak to you, and you wouldn't speak to someone else like that. So let's start to watch how we talk to ourselves, because at the end of the day, that's who we are with. And let's look at, this card is about failure. I don't say that they're mistakes. I say that they're missteps. We can sometimes think at that moment, because all we have are moments. And we can think at that moment that we are making the best choice possible. And we may make a misstep. And it may be something as simple as how you communicate it to someone. Maybe they weren't ready to listen to your point of view, and maybe they saw it differently than you did. Accept the misstep. Don't knock yourself over the head. Don't do the blame game on yourself. And what you put out there comes back. Karma has a way of doing that. So be very careful how you handle your responses. And now, sometimes we do blow up. We're human beings. And you know what? Forgive yourself and move on. Move on and allow it to just get resolved. The universe will handle it. And if you're not sure what to do, ask the angels, what do I do in this situation? And you may hear nothing, and that's your answer. Do nothing right now. It's that simple. So that you can maintain your happiness. I said for many years, that's the only thing I want is peace of mind. Peace of mind, peace of mind. Nobody else's stuff, nobody else's arguments, nobody else telling me what I am doing right, what I'm not doing right, how I need to do it differently, what am I doing, what do I think I am, on and so forth. And I've heard that from family members. I've heard that from acquaintances. I don't have friends who talk to me like that. But sometimes family members assume that they know what's best for you, and they may, and I've heard, I can't believe a benevolent being would give you those kinds of gifts. Well, they did. And thank you. And perseverance. Even though the road may seem long, even though it may seem like you just don't know which way to go, sit down, go within, meditate, ask the angels for assistance. If you're not sure, remember I said, put your hand over your heart. You can put both hands over your heart. Take some deep breaths. Settle yourself down. Meditate if you need. And ask the angels. Just say, angels, I desire, and state what you wish. And ask for their assistance. You must give them permission to help you in life. They will not start to work in your life if you do not give them permission. And if you give them permission and it still doesn't work out the way you wanted it to, you might sit back and look at the wisdom of that. Sometimes I had a client say to me, she said, I was in love with this guy. I really loved him. I thought he loved me. And I just kept saying, I love him, I love him, I love him. And I just thought that would be enough. And I found out that he has a wife and he has kids and he's seeing other women. But I still love him. And I thought that if I loved him hard enough, he would see me. Well, there's a lot going on there. But one of the main things is that it's not our job to get other people to love us. It is our job to love ourselves. And it is our job to love ourselves enough so that we can get to a place where when something happens and we're not sure what to do, that we sit back and let it get resolved with the angelic help. Ask for help from the angels. And if you're not sure which angel to call, just say to the angels, get the flock in here. And getting the flock in here means that the right angels will show up and they will work with you and through you. And they will begin to really, really hone in on what is for your best and highest good. And you can even say that, angels, bring in what is for my best and highest good and what is for the best and highest good for all. And begin to just see what shows up. Be patient. Sometimes there are things that have to be worked out in the background before you can see it in real life. But I promise you, and especially this week when we're coming up on a full moon on Saturday, July the 5th, and it is also an eclipse. It is a lunar eclipse, powerful energy that we can work with. Use that energy to let go of any burdens, even relationships, projects. Say you've been working on something, on a project, and it just isn't panning out. Maybe you need to set it aside and ask for angelic help. Or maybe you can take that idea and rework it so that it begins to work for you. But this is a great time and a great week where all of the energy is moving us toward releasing old burdens. Okay? So today I'm going to also pull another card to leave you with a message from the angels. And this is a small little deck. It's called Angel Meditations. And I've showed this one to you before. It's a deck that you can put in your pocket and keep walking down the street. You can pull it out if you ever need a quick answer to something. They work wonderfully. I mean, these little cards, they're about that big. But they have powerful messages on them. And you can use them for anything. If you're not sure about something, pull out your deck. Start using some of your gifts, because we all have gifts and we all can use our intuition. And when days when your intuition isn't kicking in the way you think it should, go ahead and ask the angels for help. So the message is the angel of truth. I'm going to read it to you. I am the way, the truth, and the light. That's from the Bible. It's a quote from John 14:6. All that is real is anchored in truth. 10 people can look at the same thing and see it from different angles. We are beings whose truth is anchored in the purest flow of divine energy. The more we allow this energy to vitalize us, the more truth of our lives will be manifested. So as we were talking about change coming up, as we were talking about accepting new things, and we're talking about indecision and blame and failure, this is also saying use wisdom. Use wisdom and start to really ask for assistance. All that we're going through, wouldn't you love to have a little bit of help from the angelic realm? I would. I ask every day. Okay? So you do the same. May you and your family have peace beyond all understanding. And may each and every one of you be safe, stay healthy, and come on back tomorrow. Oh, and if you like this, subscribe, please. Press the button next to it so that you get the email notification, and press the thumbs up. Thank you so much, and have another wonderful day. Namaste.